Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. This is Robert Stearns, and so glad that you've taken a moment to tune in today. We are here in Los Angeles, California, and it's my honor to be seated with Consul General David Siegel, who is Israel's ambassador to the West Coast and the southern states here in the United States. And Consul General Siegel, great to have you here tonight.
It's great to be on your show, Robert.
Well, we're excited to see you come into position here in Los Angeles area. You had formerly worked with Ambassador Danny Ayalon, I think both in Washington and then in the foreign ministry.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what it's been like to see the panorama of things, both from the ambassador's position in Washington and then the foreign ministry in Israel.
Well, we met in Jerusalem.
Right.
We met when you brought one of your delegations of student leaders and young pastors, if I remember. And so that was one opportunity to see how the relationship works, and then coming to Washington and later coming to the West Coast. I think I've come to realize, and we all realize, how important our relationship is, and that you need bridge builders to help both sides of a divided family that has been divided for 2,000 years come back together.
Wow.
As brothers and sisters of faith, fighting for our values, which is a strong America, a strong Israel, a strong relationship, freedom of religion, fighting tyranny. These are still very real issues today, and to see it all come together through organizations like Eagle's Wings, and a kind of relationship that we're forging with friendly churches and tremendous leaders on the West Coast is I find it hugely inspiring and empowering of everything that we do. So it's very, very important.
You have a unique opportunity to kind of view this relationship of Christians supporting Israel because of your interaction through the foreign ministry. Do you feel like everyday Israelis are beginning to be aware of this unique friendship of Christians who support Israel? Is it starting to become something that's known both in Israel with everyday folks and then also with the Jewish community worldwide?
I think so very much. Here locally, I could tell you that more and more Jewish congregations are coming to realize the importance of this relationship, and then that they could actually do something to help bring it forward, to help fund trips to Israel, to become part of this wonderful relationship that we're enjoying. So we see it locally. In Israel itself today, I think we're very proud of the fact that Israel is the only country in the Middle East where Christians can freely worship. And we're proud of that, and we're building that. And more people are being exposed to it. So it's a law of numbers. It's a tipping point. You learn it when you see it. And I think today in Israel we should be very proud of this relationship. We're seeing the anchor there. We're seeing anchors here. We're seeing more and more communities come together locally and nationally. And I have to tell you, now is the time for us to join hands and work together for what we believe in and fight what threatens us.
Speaking about what threatens us, incredible unrest in the Middle East. It's never a peaceful place. It's never an easy place. Virtual civil war in Syria, a strong growth of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, great unrest in Lebanon, the Lebanese Christian population just being really dispersed and driven out of both power and out of the country. All of these things growing. It's a very challenging situation. And this doesn't only impact Israel. Turkey and Turkey's drift toward a more hardline Islamist view, as Turkey still is trying to gain entrance to the European Union. This isn't really about the future of Israel. It's about the future of our world.
It really is. It's about the future of the Middle East, the future of the world. From Israel's point of view, we see a whole series of failed states around us now. You mentioned Lebanon, Syria. The tragedy, the human tragedy there is almost unthinkable. 30,000 people killed in less than a year and a half, and it's only getting worse and worse by the day. Weapons of mass destruction.
Say that 30,000 people
30,000 people
in a
killed
year and a half.
It's just unbelievable.
And yet, if there had been a handful of Palestinians killed in some type of skirmish, as tragic as that loss of life would be, it would be massive front page news in the New York Times. We'd be hearing about it in the United Nations day and night. 30,000 killed. I mean, you have a genocide happening in Syria, and the world is sitting back and doing what?
And the silence speaks volumes. We still are dealing with quote-unquote flotillas coming to help Hamas in Gaza, where at the same time you have these kind of massacres. But what we need to understand is that Israel today is a vibrant, strong, proud, healthy democracy and friend to America. Yet we're in a very, very difficult neighborhood, and we're in a difficult global context, both economically and geopolitically. It's a very dangerous time. And there are storms on the horizon, unfortunately, in every generation. And in this generation, it's the instability in the Middle East. And above that is the threat of a nuclear Iran, which threatens to freeze the entire region in this crisis that it's in. So if we hope to change the Middle East, we have to stop the Iran nuclear program, the Iranian nuclear weapon, before it's too late, and help the people of the Middle East heal and move towards a better future. But they won't be able to do that if Iran goes nuclear with all of its extremist allies around it. That will tip the balance in the Middle East for generations. And this is why the fight is not just about Israel. It's not just about the Middle East. It's about the future of the world, and certainly America's interest in the Middle East.
If Iran goes nuclear, Saudi Arabia is going to want a nuclear weapon. Egypt is going to want a nuclear. It's going to set off a nuclear proliferation. And then how close are you to getting one of those bombs into the hands of a terrorist group like Al-Qaeda, like Taliban? It's a very scary scenario. In the last moments we have together, Christians around the world tuning in, talk for just a moment. How can Christians continue to stand with, to support, to be involved in Israel? We've got a lot of strong feeling. We have a lot of strong emotion. How do we need to translate that right now into action?
Well, first we need to understand the basis of our relationship, which goes back to the creation, Genesis, the establishment of the people of Israel through Abraham and the covenant and the blessings of Israel. These are the platform that we share. And then we need to understand the value of Israel today in the eyes of America and the world, and the important things that we're doing together to achieve freedom and a better future through technology and medicine, and to help people connect to both their values, their history, and our common future.
Right.
And not to focus on what may have divided our peoples down the routes of history on both sides, but to focus on what we share today, which is a renaissance where more and more millions of people understand that Jews and Christians are heading to one destiny, fighting for the same values, and with that, helping the world become a better place.
Well, Israel is blessed to have such a capable spokesman as yourself representing Israel in this part of the world. We're honored by our partnership with you. We're thankful for it, and we pray that it continues to increase.
Thank you, Robert. Great to be on your show.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in today. We are praying for you. We're praying blessings on your life. Believe that you'll be strengthened in every way as you continue to seek the Lord and His will for you. Thanks for stopping by, and keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem. God bless you.